Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to the Sexy Brutale. It is shocking, I have to say once again, that I thought when I first started this game music was going to be the big problem, and now it really has become just a completely unimportant aspect. Let's look at the map and see even where we are. We're not even in that area. We're over here. Alright. If anything, the thing I would like to do here is possibly affect the video settings and turn up the brightness, but noticeably there is no video settings to turn up the brightness. Statue may move, I guess. So one thing that feels like it's fairly noticeable is that there's a lot of these cards just like all over the place, and as such there's there is this just kind of general desire. See, he is saying something and having a whole conversation. So, ready? The trap? Set. The plan? Perfect. Alright. So this guy is now coming this way, so I have to run away. And so I'm just getting chased. Wait. Grayson, wait. Something's not right. The show tonight, wasn't it supposed to be some kind of awful death-dining escape? Read, in all seriousness. This is all the time I could spend getting closer to looking at that egg. No man, look at the spikes and those. What are those? Look, we can just check to make sure nothing is plugged in before we get in the awful death cage, please. Fine. You can check the way. Let's go make sure this is all off it or disconnected or whatever. You would do. I would do. Man, and see, the text is just like playing very quickly, and apparently because they're on the stage, they don't see you, so you're safe in just wandering around. Might not even be the true Moloch egg. Oh, sweet lord, it is. Look at that. You can see a ghost walks in here, and ghosts are the only thing that we don't. It doesn't matter. So this guy is just talking. And I'm just trying to map things. I'm not even trying to get the timeline here. Now we do now have this ability, which is apparently prompted by the X button. And we now know that when we use that ability, it slows us down for a second, and then almost certainly is going to end up giving us more of the player's cards. And so there is. Show will start in 1 hour. So now the game is kind of handing us a lot of extra stuff. We now have a lighter, so the game kind of needs to mark all of those extra things in the map first, and we need to figure out what we could use the lighter for, because undoubtedly you could use the lighter for a lot of things. There's a power switch there. And see, all of these statues definitely feel like they are something that you were going to interact with, at this point. It does just seem like... so we can either watch the show here, or we can investigate from the rest of the rooms. I think I just want to investigate the rest of the room. Yeah. Padlock. It's electrified, so if I can turn the power off. Notes. I guess now that we have a lighter, there is a possibility that I could light the ghost candle and actually talk to the ghost. If we could find the ghost candle, which noticeably we don't seem to have a ghost candle in these rooms, which then makes it questionable as to what we were supposed to do with the lighter in the first place. There's a chest we're gonna lockpick, and then that's almost certainly a secret doorway, and I question if I can get out of this area and back into the rest of the building, because like I'm looking at the map right now where I am here. Yeah, it does seem like there would be a way back. Let's see. This way. And then this way. Nope, you can't go any further. I could use this light here. And that lets us talk to this guy. Ah, you there, lackey. We have very little time left before the kills, and then after that, very little time in general. Will you go and tell those bloody idiots to turn the power back on? They've been buggering about with the electrics in the basement. But tell them there's a circuit breaker behind the bookshelf in the northeast library right here. Lucas, bless him, had this whole place secretly wired up for the big magician show. He was such a fan of the disappearing acts. Great love of drama, you know. Anyway, shut up, you're boring me. Which that is a funny way, certainly, to go with anything. And so that got us the knowledge, but we're running out of time, so it's just going to benefit us more to watch what happens. So Red there is a victim, touches the electricity and dies. And I can't walk up the stairs because there's still somebody around. And I just don't think there's a candle anywhere else. Also brittle, but don't despair. Look. He's exactly as he should be. So is he dead or is he alive? This is the problem with it being zoomed out. Is it to me looks like he's dead. Good night, ladies and gentlemen, and I assume that's what this whole ding dong stuff has always been about, is this show. And see, time is running out, and I'm just gonna let the time run out because it doesn't actually penalize you for the time running out. or anything like that. It just resets itself versus me resetting. So the whole raining blood image is so it's just there as a warning. Okay, what I want to do fairly quickly is, I guess, be in this room. That's weird because I thought I was supposed to look through this door, but I don't have the ability to look through this door. Interesting, I also have the lighter now, so is that just straight up a default item? Yes, it is. I wasn't really expecting the lighter to be a item you carried with you. Both the watch and the lighter are inscribed with LB, which is funny because they said that the watch I thought was from Reginald's Sixpence, or at least he was stealing it, but clearly it originally would belong to LB. There's just nobody here. Alright, so instead of that, we'll just wait here. When did that actually start triggering? Like, I guess it's easier and better just to start here. Now, if I'm in this zoomed out mode and I just stay in the zoomed out mode for a while and somebody walks into the room I'm walking into, wouldn't I hear that sound effect? See, and he totally does just, like, come through that. You have to hold it down, which it probably should just be toggle on, then you can't turn it off. Notice how they've gotten very piffy in their conversations now. Also, it's just trying to keep everything nice and tight and easy to grab the important information and move forward. See, if you break this now, that's just a waste of time, but that was worth testing, certainly. Alright. We've unlocked something as far as a guest room, but that's it. And so much of this game is evolved around the map that it's really should just be the default thing. Okay. So now anytime we see these things, like anytime we see bookcases, we do now know that there's a chance that the bookcases are part of the whole setup, and there might be something behind them, or the bookcases are just there as red herrings as far as, hey, my hands, what is this, ouch. Oh, hey, who's there? Red. Red. So we see that guy came out. Grayson, why is the electricity on? Someone locked me in here. What to? So we don't have a ton of time here. This might be a case where we have to swap things in the other order, or this might be a situation where we actually need two people. I don't know how I could get two people's abilities though. There's something more to this. Alright, so he's gonna go in there. So maybe he is going to pull the switch, and we need to pull the switch at the exact same time as the dong. I can't hear anything, so Okay, so there's some other part to this. We have a little bit of time before things go really bad. Weirdly. Okay, so which way is he going? So he's being told to do the switch at about 9. So if I can just rush this way and pull the other switch. So I was just not pulling it at the right time. Yeah, that's what had to happen. Did it work? Is that I had to be in the other room pulling the switch at that specific time when he was pulling the switch. Gray, are you okay? Oh my god, it stopped. So then he touches it and doesn't get electrocuted. Red, what are you doing? The door is still locked. Bloody hell. So Red is not the golden mask bad guy, it looks like. I forgot what a total brute you are. He's just another character. Get these damn things off there. God, that's better. So at this point, they should take off their masks and 2 more people should be saved, and I should get 1 mask ability. And that seems like our main goal certainly is to get mask abilities first. But it does feel like we still are going to have to come back and save all these people, maybe in different ways or maybe just really fast. It's very questionable though if we really are going to only have this fast moving 12 hours or so that the clock gives us that I could save everybody. Unless there's some action that saves multiple people. For instance, if I could just turn the power off in the entire hotel, maybe that would solve a lot of problems. Laffy old boy, I was in a bad way back there. Did you do something, Lafcadio? Did you help me? Thank you. Come on, Red, the bar is calling. That's quite enough drama for one day. Yeah, weirdly the other character is walking off with his mask. So I wonder if it really is a case where we need to save someone differently to get a different mask, but we really only have enough room for one more mask. But maybe these secondary masks are going to be upgrades to our current masks. That's a possibility. Boone. He was here, wasn't he? Then why? I guess Boone might be the bad guy? I'm not keeping these names particularly straight. And see, this time he just takes a mask without being told. So we now have Grayson's light fingered touch. A professional thief turned security expert, Grayson is unparalleled locksmith. Grayson's mask allows you to crack physical locks within the mansion, open padlocks and safes using the power when the prompt appears. Grayson was a very, very talented safecracker. He used his gifts to create many of the systems in the mansion. You will not find many locks that can keep their secrets from you now. See, it almost seems like this is a magical mansion where they've trapped a lot of people that may have had a hand in making the mansion in these time loops. Not many, but some. You have to go. And so time rewinds. And it's still Saturday. Alright. Marquis has invited you to a show, and if we look on the map, I imagine we are supposed to just go back down, because I don't even recall seeing a locked door. Okay. So here's a case. It's spiky with a padlock. We press X. And inside of it is a card. Okay. So let's just run around the entire area. What says? I told Lucas this place was falling apart. And I guess you can watch more of the events of the game if you miss some of this. But it definitely feels like there should just be a different mode where you have to watch this as kind of a falling action, or a way in which you could see this cutscenes after the fact. I'm trying to listen to see if maybe So he opens the safe at that point, and that's where we got the lighter. So obviously there's a thought here as far as where you were supposed to see. Oh, it's so cold in here. Yeah, it definitely feels like we're going to have to get an upgraded version of the lighter at some point, because there's just no way that we could light or interact with anything here. And yeah, on one side of this building there is the good guys going through their stuff. We've got a bunch of statues. It really does feel like every single object that you can interact with is going to be interactable with. Storyline wise though, it really doesn't make any sense that they would start chasing after you. That feels very video gamey. We're just trying to look around. We may have hit a point where the game is actively just trying to tell you you have to play with these. Like, we may very well have to save the other guy. But the other guy doesn't die, it seemed like, so in the scenario that I just played out, wouldn't I have already saved both of them? Painting is skewed. So maybe we'll get some kind of telepathic ability later on that can move things that are further away. This chest is ornate, and yet I can't open it. Well, we've been everywhere. Like, we've been everywhere there is to be, except for maybe in this middle area, but I don't think so, because I think that's where we started. Yeah, we're below the stage, at the base of the stage right now, so we've been there. We can use this and try and talk to this guy again. It's the exact same dialogue before. So, I'm confused. Am I supposed to just convince the ghost to go and follow? He's talking about a trap door. Go ahead and turn that on. Is there possibly a case that I am supposed to be activating a trapdoor on the stage earlier? I mean, at a certain point, maybe saving someone will get me an achievement, so let's do that. Anyways, Boone, this is no longer the place for you. Grayson was a master locksmith. There's almost no physical door or mechanism that can hold you. That there's a way out of here. Look toward the stage. You have new abilities and new perspectives. So it straight up gives you a hint and then rewinds you. And almost certainly there's nothing in that chest over here. Although you might have a decent amount of time, so opening it isn't going to be too big of a problem. Yep, there's nothing there. We may need to rush to get on the stage before anybody else shows up, and then take this trapdoor that now I see. So down we go towards a basement, which I suspected that was what was going to happen. But we now need to find a winding key and a clock. Otherwise we are going to constantly have to rewind. Right, and so now we have, if we zoom out, the basement. And the fact that we have a basement and the first floor and a ground floor all in this little square makes me suspect that while each of these squares might fill out fairly completely, there's not a great argument that there's going to be a third or second floor or sub-basement, which that was my suspicion. Certainly is that there wouldn't be a lot of that. It does definitely feel like this is a scenario where the basement may just be a transition spot to another area, and that I do suspect that we are going to hit a point where we need upgrades on some of the masks, because that's the only thing that starts to make any sense. Now we have the blueprint prince and the Midas giant as our next two victims. Yeah. It almost kind of feels like it would become almost this adversarial role, and that those would have been your bad guys. Well, look at that. We are back this way, but now we see a whole bunch of ghosts. And we can use the pocket watch on this clock to set our reset point. The murders are fairly low late in the game. So yeah. Effectively, these are your challenge characters, and we only have what seems like 2 more scenarios, but I imagine you do this scenario, then you get thrown back, and then you potentially have to do this scenario, and then this scenario, and then this scenario again, or we do all of these scenarios a second time and get upgraded versions of the masks, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. Or we don't do any of that, and then we just get this mask spot and then the mask spot in the center of this, and that may be the end of that. But notably, we haven't found an invitation since the first one, and we've only found 18 of the collectible cards of 52 of those, which definitely feels like there's a lot more game here. But it could be a case where there isn't actually that much more game, and then there's just a potential in which you would run around multiple times through the same game, or play the game multiple times to try and get all the collectibles. I hope the game doesn't really screw us on that, because there is a scenario where we accidentally solve the final murder mystery, save the character after this next character, and then that is just the end of the game, with it locking you into an end of the game. Now that we are back to this area, there's a lot of room to run around and investigate, so I think that's what I want to do first, is just run around this entire environment and investigate and see what we see before we even start to focus on killing or saving the 2 people. I guess you are doing a lot of saving in this game and not really any killing so much. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to further follow me, there's a bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wish list. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.